You really do not want the crowd to get involved here in the ball game. But good defense here for Paul Artadi.
When you look at Paul Artadi, he might be the best matchup against Gary David. Sasabihin mo, hindi, maliit si Paul Artadi. Payat, paano niya babantayan si Gary David? Gary David is super quick. And when you look at Paul Artadi, he's the guy that can match Gary David quickness for quickness.
Ito na nga, ginamit niya yung quickness niya. Nakawala kay Gary David. Wala yung tira, but Alexander is there for the putback. And the roar of this crowd is deafening.
At Richard, that's an 8-2 run sa ngayon ang ginagawa ng Barangay Ginebra. Remember, it was 10-0. And all of a sudden, another turnover para sa Air21. That's 2 straight turnovers para kay Gary David. Even worse, that's 2 straight offensive fouls.
And what a difference a substitution can make, mga kaibigan. Let's take a look at this again. Paul Artadi, they're falling down.
Well, you know, Paul Artadi is going to fall down no matter how hard you hit him. Now, if he's going to get those calls, you have to be able to run around him and not go through him.
Ginebra turns the ball over. Ito ngayon si Araneta de Ocampo against Judy Valenzuela. Steve Thomas hesitates. Goes up, uses the glass.
Di planado yun, yung tira ni Steve Thomas. Probably wasn't going for the glass. Had to put an extra arc on that shot because Chris Alexander is now respecting the outside shot of Stephen Thomas.
Pero ngayon si JJ Helterbrand pulls up for three. No! There's Chris Alexander again missing a gimme. Homer say, coast to coast. Homer says zigzagging on the floor. Oh, there's a dribbling violation. You know, you may criticize Homer say with that move, but he has done this in the past in the semifinals, and he has found success in bringing the ball down.
Pero alam mo, marami nang nakakapansin na gagawin ni Homer sa iyo. Inaabangan na siya. That time around, a turnover. So in the last 4 possessions, at ito, nalibre pa si Chris Alexander. I call a foul. And the coach Bo Perasol is really mad because pakiramdam niya, malayo yung angulo.
And you know, this is what you're saying, you know, first timers in the finals, you know, there's a different kind of pressure here, and they really have to handle pressure right away. We're only in the first quarter, but maybe Coach Bo really wants to set the tone, and really have to make a point to the officials that he means business. Ito yung kinokontent niya, you know.
Well, he may have a point right there on that replay.
Right.
Chris Alexander misses the first one. Pero alam mo, yun, kailangan Air21 has to deal with the crowd, and syempre, miski si Coach Bo Perasol, he also wants to show that he won't be a pushover. Pinapakita niya rin sa referees, pinapakita niya rin sa crowd. Because this is a series, you have to be able to set your own tone and your personality on both on the referees as well.
Looking on the other side of the bench, si Coach Jong Wichico still sitting down on his seat. Eric Pound collected. Ito yung si Winnie Arboleda, airball. So after a 10-0 run, ito na po ang Barangay Ginebra, only down by 6. JJ Helterbrand met up high by Winnie Arboleda.
That's going to be the same call na nangyari kanina. On one side, the best offensive player of Air21, Gary David, caught trying to push Paul Artadi para malibre. Ganito rin na nangyari kay Mark Kagiwa nung binabantayan ni Gary David.
Consistency, yun ang hinahanap ng mga coaches and ng mga teams, and you know, that's why that call was made. Here's Steve Thomas facing up against Chris Alexander. Post up, too strong. Nandiyan si Ranidel de Ocampo for the rebound.
Alam mo, para kay Junti Valenzuela, yung trabaho niya talaga will not end on that defensive side because he has to box out Ranidel de Ocampo, who is much bigger than him.
And here comes Junti using his quickness against the much taller Ranidel de Ocampo. Yung sabi natin may mismatch sa post. Aba, ginamit rin ni Junti yung kanyang speed that time. And Winnie Arboleda not waiting for the defense to be set up.
No, excellent point right there, Richard. May height advantage nga si Ranidel, but when it comes to quickness, obviously, challenge yung lateral movement naman ito si Ranidel de Ocampo.
So, depende na lang kung sino bibigay dyan sa matchup na yan, no? Who will create more damage. Paul Artadi steps back in the court. He's able to collect 2 offensive fouls from Gary David.
Richard, the guy on the line para sa Air21 will be very critical for their team. it will be very important to see kung gaano karaming minuto ang malalaro nito si Winnie Arboleda para sa kanyang koponan. Of course, he is the veteran of that team.
Ginebra goes back to Junti Valenzuela. Pulls up against Ranidel De Ocampo using the glass. So kanina, nasusutan siya ni Ranidel. Buhabawi naman to si Junti. Gary David pulls up.
That's going to be 2 fouls on Mark Caguioa. Kakapasok lang ni Mark Caguioa. He's a guy that comes off the bench. Pero ito, matatawagan siya ng dalawa kagad.
Well, no, he's going to spend a lot of his energy trying to guard itong si Gary David. Because kung tinatawag na natin si James Yap with a man with a million moves, itong araw si Gary David is the man who moves a million times on the court. Pero mintis sa unang free throw itong si Gary David.
Actually, a very good free throw shooter. He's in the top 10 of the league when it comes to free throws.
All eyes on Gary D. With his charities. That's the 4th point para dito kay Gary David. Backcourt pressure from Air21. Junti Valenzuela. Pollard Taddy setting up their offense. Good denial by Gary David. Di may pasa kay Mark Caguioa. 9 seconds to shot clock ng Ginebra. Here's Junti again. Post up. Short this time. Rebound goes to Winnie Arboleda. And Junti Valenzuela preventing that fast break from happening.
Right now, Arvin Santos papasok, Richard. Only the first substitution for Air21. How times have changed. Dati naalala mo, Air21, lahat ng player pinapasok, kailangan maglaro. But now, they really have seen already influx of talent. Meron talaga silang solid 5 na meron na pwede lang gamitin.
And dito na papasok yung matchup problems for Barangay Ginebra. You have Mark Caguioa guarding itong si Arvin Santos. Well, let's see if Caguioa can also use his speed against Santos. They leave Artadi alone and he knocks down the TM press. And I remember in that semifinal series against Red Bull, ito si Artadi knocked down a crucial 3 also at the end game.
And Paul Artadi, took him 2 years to finally hit a 3-pointer. He had a 2-year lull. Ngayon naman, halos bawat laro nakakashoot na siya ng 3.
Aggressive move there by Steve Thomas, blocked by Chris Alexander. They really want to take Alexander out of the picture, trying to draw some fouls from Chris Alexander early in the ball game. The action is picked up mga kaibigan. Earlier, it was Barangay Ginebra down by 10. Now they're only down by 3. We'll be right back after the short break.